Global happenings today. We communicate. We analyze global news.
The former sole administrator to Rivers State, Obamete Ikwe Ibas, has not yet returned home, as most Nigerians had expected that after the expiration of his 6-month tenure in Rivers State, he will be back home to enjoy himself. But interestingly, despite the fact that he has submitted, his report on that 6-month tenure, unfortunately, it seems that things are not going the way expected, as the president today was seen in the company of the EFCC boss alongside Ibas. And Nigerians have been talking, though we are yet to have full details of what transpired between, the three leaders, talking about Tinubu, the EFCC boss, and Ibas. But right now, most Nigerians are wondering what will happen to Ibas. But let me just give you a full brief of what actually transpired in Aso Rock. According to the news, President Bola Tinubu on Wednesday met with the outgone Rivers State Sole Administrator Vice Admiral Ibas retired at the Aso Rock Villa in Abuja. It was gathered that Ibas arrived at the villa at about 5:50 p.m. clad in brown native attires. He was accompanied to the meeting by the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, and the Chairman of the Economic and Financial Crime Commission, Ola Olukoyede. It was observed that shortly after the meeting commenced, Edun briefly exited the villa and returned with a file in his hands. The meeting between President Tinubu and Ibas comes days after Ibas left office on September 17, having served a 6-month tenure as the sole administrator of Rivers State. This followed President Tinubu's directive for the suspended state governor, Sowore Fubara, his deputy, and the State House of Assembly members to return to office. It would be recalled that the Rivers State House of Assembly, led by Speaker Martin Amowale, had resolved to probe the state finances during the 6-month emergency rule of the Sole Administrator Ibas. The House passed the resolution during its first plenary session on Thursday, after President Bola Tinubu reinstated the lawmakers, Governor Sowore Fubara, and his deputy. The lawmakers declared their intention to investigate the state expenditure during the 6 months of emergency rule. According to the resolution of the House, to explore the process of knowing what transpired during the emergency rule with regards to spending from the Consolidated Revenue Fund for the award of contracts and other expenditure. Ibas had rejected the decision to probe the state expenditure over the last few months under him, describing the move as a fool's errand. It was gathered that Rivers State received at least 254.37 billion naira from the Federation Account Allocation Committee, that's FAC, between March and August 2025 under the tenure of the former sole administrator. And someone say Ibas don't enter big time. But I'm trying to wonder why the president is having a meeting with them. Speculations are everywhere, I tell you. But some believe that there are some unexplainable things that he must have done. Don't forget that he spent a huge amount of money to fix CCTV camera, I think about 5-point-something or 25-point-something billion naira, to fix CCTV camera, which according to most of those who are in Rivers State, State House, they said that CCTV was already available there. So I believe that there are a lot of expenditures that does not make any sense, because whatever you're going to do, as much as possibly you are trying to save the interest of some persons who had possibly linked you to that place, you must be able to give vivid account of every expenditure. You must be able to retire every money that was classified under expenditure. If you cannot retire it with provable source documents, then you're going to go in for it. So I feel that at this point, maybe the president just wants clarification, as it has to do with some of the things that are not just adding up. You understand? Most people believe that he was going to go in there to serve the interests of the president, especially as it has to do with the financial part. But don't forget that Nigeria is such a big place whenever it comes to the issue of appointment. You'll be shocked that possibly some other persons are there who may have refed him, and who he has to, no matter what, do one or two touches here and there for them so that they'll be happy with him. And being that he's not a professional accountant, he doesn't know how to deal with such issues. Who knows? Maybe some expenditures does not make any sense. Some of them may, the retirement may look very funny and very unprecise. So possibly, who knows? That's why the EFCC boss is there to, ask him some salient question. But let's keep waiting. Who knows what will transpire? But if EFCC is involved in this case, the likes of the Rivers State House of Assembly should rest and watch how things unfold. But let's dive into another case. Now, there had been a lot of issues between Sowore and Wiki, and so many evidences have been on the internet, which for me, it's so dirty for us to, but guess what, Nigerians, it's not strange again. But however, a key ally of Wiki, talking about the APC chairman in Rivers State, Tony Okocha, had written something out. He calls it a press statement, but I'm going to give you an essay, some few pickups of what he actually wrote, and then we'll dive into detail. Okocha, in a press statement, wrote this: that Sowore, the umbrella razzmatazz of notorious crime merchant. And he said, in every democracy, criticism is welcome, but what Nigerians must reflect are deliberate lies, propaganda, and attempt to defame under the disguise of activism. This is exactly what Omoyele Sowore, publisher of Sowore Reporter, has perfected over the years. Sowore has built his entire career on lies. His Sowore Reporter platform is notorious for publishing fabricated stories and half-truths, often used as tools for blackmail and extortion. Recently, Sowore launched another wave of falsehood against President Tinubu, GCFR, and the Honorable Minister of the FCT Chief, Barrister Nyesom Wiki. These baseless allegations are nothing more than the bitter ranting of a man rejected by the Nigerian people at the polls and drowning in political irrelevance. What an infuriating for a sane citizen of a country to outburst that the president, or whatever nomenclature used to refer to the highest office holder, as a criminal. Nigeria must stand up against this rascal and nitwit describing or desiring to rob the integrity of the country on the mud, rather than give heed to or yield to the antics of a serial merchant of discord and purveyor of non-sequentious half-truths. He went further to write about, number one, that Omoyele Sowore is a merchant of falsehood and blackmail journalism, and two, that Sowore's criminal charges under the Cyber Crime Act. He wrote about Sowore's revolution now, that is a thinly veiled coup attempt. And fourthly, he talked about Sowore's dubious finances and shady sponsorship. The last one he considered was Sowore's hypocrisy and political failure. And after all of this, this was how he ended the write-up. He said, much as Omoyele Sowore feels such sure to adopt the uncut and uncanny style of unrepentant blackmailer, purveyor of blatant falsehood and dangerous provocateur, as desperate attempt to gain relevance in Nigerian political space, he should be mindful of the consequences. Nigerians have reacted to this, and someone here says that, guys, you can learn from Rain or Mockery. If Rain or Mockery and attempt to have a say in this matter, Sowore go remind him of Weldon Similin. Even Wiki's 8 Lere no get strength to defend Wiki again. Tony Okocha, did you check for skeleton in your cupboard or wardrobe before speaking? That's what he said. But I don't think Sowore will have the time to respond to someone like Tinubu, being that in his class, Sowore sees Tinubu as a nobody in politics. Let's, just say it. Sowore had been a presidential candidate of a party contesting election. Tinubu has never contested an election apart from party election, which already we know how it took place. Tinubu is just a Rivers State politician. He has not featured at the national level, talking about maybe or even running for a governorship position. He has not done any of that. So it would be a high level of, see finish, or no, not see finish actually, but it would be quite wrong for Sowore to pick up any quarrel with someone like Tinubu. So a lot of people are like, when he comes for you, would you be able to stand it? But I can tell you that Sowore himself is very strategic when it comes to, the issue of lambasting people and all of that. He will never go down. He's always going up the ladder. That's one of the things that is very peculiar about him. But let's leave it there. Let's meet our conversation and talk more on this.